What's up, everybody? What is it like to drive a 1969 Dodge Charger? Let me tell you, every time I hit a bump, my back tires rub. You can pretty much feel every pothole on the street. I was actually looking at a 6.1 Hemi Charger. I was thinking of a whole drivetrain swap. That would be pretty cool. But I know it'll require a lot of work. So. Everything shakes, rattles. There's a squeak that you can hear that I need to tighten down. Not really sure what it is yet, but it's not going to be, a 2018 brand new vehicle, of course. But it just feels, rough. It just feels good though, in a good way. Get a lot of people honking at you, waving at you, giving you a thumbs up. That's pretty cool. But just to get to drive your dream car, that's awesome. Eventually I would like to, maybe that would be cool, is maybe get it fuel injected, a 6.1 Hemi swap or something like that. But I don't know. But it would be cool so I can drive it more often. I know I probably won't take it out in real cold weather anymore, especially since I have issues getting it started, and I need to get to work on time for sure. It's scary at times to drive, especially on the highway. Right now, my gearbox, I need to get a new upgraded one. My steering is real soft, real sensitive. So on the highway, whenever I, try to switch lanes or anything, it's a little scary because it almost wants to make a bigger turn than what you're wanting. The steering is so sensitive and real loose steering, but you almost think there's something going on with the car. But I hear a lot of the older cars, this is just how they come out from the factory. So that's one thing that I would like to upgrade. But you get used to it. It's not too bad. I used to own a Shelby GT500, and that car is a whole different animal, a whole different car. I loved it. It was a lot of power, which I loved. I miss that sometimes, but it's just not in the same category as this car. You can have both cars at the same time and just get different feelings about them for sure. But it's just cool to drive one of these for sure. But yeah, just keep in mind, unless you get one that's fully restored, you really can't depend on it to drive every day. There's just a lot of, you know, it's an old car. Everything, all the bushings, ball joints, everything will need to be replaced. And I have started doing that, but I haven't, you know, completed that yet. I don't want to take it on the highway and a ball joint break off. But it's something that you can't daily drive, depending on, you know, what condition your car is in. But that's another thing you got to keep in mind if you want to get one of these cars, is it's going to take a while, depending how it is, to get it to be a daily driver. I got to keep it out of the rain because the windows don't completely seal yet. Eventually I like to drive it a lot more. Right now it just depends on the weather. I don't really take it out when it rains. The brakes, you gotta, I mean, my car has all drum brakes, so you gotta press them a lot harder to make the car stop. You gotta press the brake pedal, I mean, hard, but not too hard, but harder than normal. Acceleration, not as fast as you would think. It's just, mine's just a 318, so there's not enough power behind it at all. It's just enough to, you know, for you to your everyday driving. What else? Mine won't burn out. Not with the power that I have right now. Eventually I will be able to, but I actually tried it the other day. It didn't really do anything. My RPM gauge works, all the other gauges don't work. Gas gauge halfway work. Usually it would pretty much go halfway. It wouldn't go full, so I wouldn't ever know exactly how much I have in there. But when I put the stereo in, I'm not sure what happened to the gas gauge. I'll have to keep on messing with it, see if I can figure it out. Driving on the street is not as scary because you're not going so fast, so you feel relaxed. It feels real good. Down low, you don't feel as up high as other cars. Mine's not as loud, so it's a pretty comfortable drive on the street for sure. I think another reason why I said it's scary is it's not your everyday driver reliable car. You know, like this morning it was about 35 degrees outside, and I started it up in my garage, started right up. I ran fine the whole way, and I stopped by to put some gas on. In it, whenever I put gas in, it wouldn't start anymore at all. It would crank but no start. I was there about 30 minutes just messing with it. At one point I just gave up and just sat there. I was like, how am I gonna warm this engine up? Because obviously I don't like the cold at all. It just started right up in my garage, but outside of it, it didn't want to start. Luckily, after a while, it finally started. I was able to make my way to work. But like I said, if your car's not fully restored, you really don't know what's gonna happen to it on the drive. You know, it all depends what kind of condition your car is. But you're driving a car that's, you know, over 40 years old, you're gonna have issues for sure. It all depends, you know, if you have gone through everything. I know I got a lot of ball joints and bushings I gotta replace. Started replacing some, but I haven't done all yet. But you don't want a ball joint to break off in the middle of the highway or anything. Like I said, you're taking that risk, and that's stuff that you really don't think of. So if you want to buy an old school car or anything, just something to keep in mind is, not unless it's a fully restored or real great condition car, you got to think that it's not going to be a daily driver unless you go through the whole car, and that can get expensive for sure. So it's not that I don't want to redo everything, it's just expensive. So slowly I'll get there, I hope, but not right now. So. If you are planning or ever wanting an old school muscle car or whatever car you're wanting, do your best to get it, man, because it's definitely worth it. It just gives you a feeling that you really can't describe, but it's pretty cool. You won't regret it for sure. If y'all got any questions or anything that I missed as far as experience, what it feels like to drive a 69 Charger, any more questions or comments, don't forget to comment below, like the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I appreciate y'all watching.